Hey,
Hi.
hello. Welcome back to episode 4 of the Lottura Post podcast. I'm Bailey. This is Kristine. I realized after watching the videos that I point this way. I don't know if it actually points at you because that's how it is on my screen, but it could be different on your screen. Today, we're jumping into a behind the peak curtain of how we put together an issue, our team, because it is now at 18 people, which is crazy.
Bananas.
We started with 6. Yeah, so we're triple now. And we are so beyond grateful and blessed by every single person. Like, they're amazing. So we want to talk about them and talk about what they do, talk about how we all come together to get an issue out, and maybe tell you some things that you just wouldn't have known about getting a paper out because we didn't know them when we started. So, yeah, that's again the point of this podcast. We just want to fill you in, give you some more info on what we're doing. And again, if you are just joining us, you can go back and listen to our first 3 episodes. They're on anywhere you can stream: Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube.
Yeah.
You can find this all in the show notes. And yeah, go to our website, www.lottura.com. And of course, ordering an issue is the best way just to stay up to date on what we're doing because that is our baby. The paper is the bread and butter of the Lottura Post.
Yeah.
So, Kristine, take us behind the scenes with our team members. Who are they? What do they do? And maybe even how they came to be part of the team.
Yeah. So I know we referenced it. We've probably referenced it in most of the episodes, but our team started with 6 and they were all very dear friends of mine of the different places I've lived in the past years. And so when the idea came to be, they were the first people I went to and they all wholeheartedly they saw the vision, which meant a lot because a lot of people I was like, we're gonna do newspaper. And before we actually had the newspaper, they were like, what?
Yeah.
um, so yeah, that's we kind of started with the 6. So there's myself. I came up with the idea and I don't even know what I all do. I do everything that's unclaimed.
Everything.
I'm the key curator. We'll usually have some like meetings where the whole team is throwing in ideas of what they want to be in it. We have different people who will reach out about potential things to include in issues. And so I'll kind of parse through all of that and combine what I think should all be in the issue that just the things that feel harmonious and fit the season and such. So I do that. I keep the team in working order, keep
Yeah,
everyone
she whips us into
organized.
shape over there. She does. She gets
I
us all working in the same. You really like you make sure we're all of one mind.
Good. I'm glad that's the perception because that's my goal.
Yeah.
I just really want everyone to be on the same page and to no one to feel like, what is happening? So yeah, I do a lot of just like messaging, communicating, answering questions, setting deadlines, and then as the content is getting submitted, which as we speak this weekend is a deadline for one of our issues, I have all the content submitted to me, and then I am largely the one who at least does like the initial layout. We have a couple people we'll get to kind of help give tips and critiques and adjustments as the layout goes, but at this point I'm largely the one doing that, which has been a really, really fun like learning. I just threw myself headfirst into it, self-taught, and it's been really fun.
Hmm.
It's almost become one of my favorite parts, to be honest. So, yeah, I think those are probably my main things. I somewhat run the social media page, at least the messaging. Yeah. Is there anything else I do?
Really all behind the scenes, any little thing that might be missed, or if there's like a hole or a gap, which is getting less and less, but you really filled those and did a lot of just, yeah, getting it out there. Like you're doing a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, and then there's you. Bailey,
Hmm.
describe your role.
I also I feel like I do more so a lot of the dreaming and the talking through ideas with you and figuring things out. I don't know, but also like helping curate, thinking through what can go into an issue, and then communicating with brands, with other people.
Yeah, you
What
kind of head up a
else?
lot of the marketing type
Yeah.
decisions, like how do we want to maybe push ourselves out there a little more this month? What are some ideas that are in alignment with what our values are? And even just, I think is it next week we're talking about like advertisement type
Hmm.
stuff? So that'll be a nitty-gritty episode.
Yeah.
But you have done a lot with that and communicating with.
Yeah. I feel like I do a lot of thinking and talking with you because that is a large part as we're
Yeah.
learning of figuring it all out. And
Yeah, because it really does feel like I mean, for the most part, you'll really see it behind this episode. I think we'll keep saying we're figuring it out as we go because there just aren't a lot of resources out there for doing something like this. It's kind of a lost art, I guess you would say. Um, like even for example, I know when I was looking into some different like postage situations with the post office, I was talking to a mailing specialist at the USPS. And he was like, yeah, I haven't set up like a newspaper for like 6 years. And we're in like the Nashville area. So
yeah,
it's just like,
figuring it out.
yeah, figuring it out. It's just not a common thing these days. So there's just a lot of talking we have to do. And you and I spend a lot of time doing that. So,
Yep. And decision making. Like, I
mhm.
think it would weigh heavily on you to have to make every single decision
Yeah, I could, yeah.
by yourself. It would weigh on anyone. And
Right.
so,
Especially running like a whole team now. Just really feeling because not only do we have a whole team, but our readership is like dramatically growing and just feeling this weight of responsibility because it's like my baby. And so having someone to kind of help keep me from making rash decisions or just like really helping me think through, okay, do these thoughts align with what our core mission and values are? Just thinking through a lot of that. And you and I are very like-minded. And so you really understand like what my own goals are, what our goals are with the newspaper. So you're really good at kind of helping guide things as they go.
thanks.
Yeah.
Appreciate that. It's super fun. And now we podcast. So that
Yeah.
is another thing that we put quite a bit of time to.
Add it to
Um,
our own plate.
yeah, yeah. But that's us. That's what we do. Who knows what it'll be next month? It'll probably change.
Yeah, it's a ever ever morphing thing as we get into it, which is just wild that the January issue that is probably showing up in your mailboxes this week is only our fifth issue. That seems really
Yeah,
wild.
it does because it feels longer yet
Yeah.
crazily
The
short. I
amount,
don't
I
know.
think it's just the amount of growth that's happened in the 5 months is dramatic.
Hmm.
It's really, really crazy. And I will say, I think that's just in large part to our team. Like, I think if it was just you and I doing this, it would just be different in so many
Well,
ways.
we were even talking just right before this. Like you and I both really, we know what is good and we have our own unique tastes and interests in like finding those things, but creating or like writing a really good piece or whatever, like
Yeah, that's not my strong suit.
not my strong suit. And so finding those people that are really, really good at that,
Mhm.
it would just be a completely different paper because we have people who are really, really, really good writers and
Mhm.
really, really good photographers. And yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So we're bringing together the best of the best. I think that's kind of what we keep telling ourselves when we come to bring someone on the team. And yeah, I mean, it's a high compliment to anyone on our team. We think you're top tier.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's you and I. And then we have Renee, and she's our lead writer, and she'll do the main feature article that you see in each page, each issue on the front page. That's kind of her baby is that. And yeah, I mean, I'm never not wowed by what she sends in. So she just really, really gets to the heart of the matter in a really thought-provoking yet encouraging way. She does a really good job of balancing that. So
Mm.
she'll also she does the Companion Chronicles column. It's our more children leaning story. I mean, it's applicable to all ages, I think. It's really sweet, but
Mhm.
if you want your kids to be a part of your reading experience, it's a fun one to read out loud. So she heads that up. It's kind of based off of the play world of her three girls and their stuffed animals, and it's really sweet. So the Companion Chronicles, and then she'll fill in on like random smaller bits and bops, so to say, as need be. So that's Renee. And then we have Justice was part of our first initial team, just coming in as a curator. We're kind of adjusting her role a little bit. She is the one, if you've heard us talk about how Lottura started as the clothing line in episode one, Justice was involved in that with making some handmade pieces, and we are in the process of like largely restructuring that, and she's like really becoming a larger part of that. So she's really moving over towards Pasture Folk is the name. You can follow that along on Instagram at Pasture Folk. And I think we're gonna start posting some things in February, some behind the scenes stuff. So I don't want to give away too much because that's not what this podcast is for, but but that is where her attentions have been as of late. But she was a part of the start. And then we have Peyton, and she is a longtime friend of mine. She was a bridesmaid in my wedding. Peyton Curry, one of the best photographers I know. And she and I both moved to Tennessee this summer, which has been a blast for us. And she is an incredible photographer and just fills in photographs when needed, really focusing like on our brand photos, stuff like that. Olivia is currently located in Germany, and she is our curator of poetry. So she's the one who she just immerses herself in literature. Her and her husband both just love poetry. And she'll bring together a whole list to pull from for each issue. And she's also starting to kind of, I don't know, do some other things, which has been fun. She writes occasionally and she just
Takes
help.
photos.
Yes, she has quite a few photographs that we pull from for issues just from her travels. Her and her husband get to travel quite a bit living over there. And so just like some really, really fun selections from another part of the world.
And something unique, I think, about the whole poetry thing is like, sure, anyone could go find some poetry, but she has a knack for finding things that just fit. Like
Mhm.
perfect poems, I think, that breathe life into the issue,
Mhm.
that like connect to the other things. I don't know, it's a gift, but
Yeah,
she
she's
really,
so good at it.
yeah, must read wide and broad because she always brings the best
Yeah, and
things.
she usually will have quite a few book recommendations on our what we're reading list. And I'm like always like, oh, I'm gonna read that. I
Hmm.
love her recommendations. So that's Dear Olivia. So that was kind of who we started with, were those six. And since then, we brought on Eileen, and she took on our lead editor role. And she also kind of is a jack of all trades kind of a gal. She brings a lot of good ideas to the table. She will do a lot of writing for like our brands. If we do a little feature or review on a brand, she'll usually head up the writing of that. She does occasional writing for like other articles, and then she'll help with kind of helping guide the layout. And she's the final eyes on the paper before I send it off to our printer. She's kind of the final comments gal. So that's Eileen's role. And then at the same time as her, we also brought on Andreea in Canada. And she's from Moldova. She lives in Canada now. And she's our visual director. You should go check out her personal account. Her visuals are just stunning, beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And so she'll do a lot of content that you see on our Instagram page itself, and then various photographs also for the issue to pull from. And I know like right now she's working on some stuff, I believe, for our website. So a lot of the visuals is
And
Andrea's.
she's so good at like taking what's in your head or someone's head and bringing it to life.
Mhm.
And so good.
Yeah. And she has written an article or two, a recipe or two. She does baking. She has her own little sourdough thing over there in Canada. And so she'll contribute different recipes and stuff along those lines. And they're scrumptious. So
Mm-hmm.
that's Andreea. And yeah, our proofreading team, who I cannot believe we put out our first issue without them. Now I look back at it and I feel silly. Like, what was I thinking? We needed our proofreading team.
Yeah, and they knew that we needed a proofreading
They,
team.
for the most part, are the ones who contacted me. Like, hi, please let me help you.
Yes.
And very quickly I was like, yeah, I just felt honestly just a little bit silly for overlooking that. Again, we were doing something new. We did not. There was just so much to juggle in the beginning. But so we have a team of three right now. So we have Maria, Avery, and Justine, and they are our three proofreaders at this time. And we'll usually go through a couple rounds, kind of bouncing it between them. They are just very, very thorough, very, very excellent at what they do. They have a lot of experience outside of the Lottura post, and yeah, they're just great. So,
Probably our most technical gals on the team, like
mhm.
trained in it and experienced, like you said, just
Mhm.
very,
Yeah,
yeah.
Justine has a doctorate
Mm-hmm.
in, oh, I'm spacing it now.
Yeah.
Sorry, Justine. She has a doctorate. She's brilliant. So,
Yep.
and yeah, Maria, I know, does some proofreading for some other publications. So, yeah, they're very, very great. We love them. Very thankful for them and their expertise. So we have Claire, and she's our graphic designer. We were actually just talking about how we wanted a new website and we wanted to revamp some things. And then she approached us, and perfect. So right now, currently as we speak, she's chipping away at our new website, which is hopefully going to launch sometime in February. And it's going to be incredible. Has some brilliant ideas. Really, really beautiful. So look forward to the new website by Claire. And then she also is really efficient and like actually trained in InDesign, which is what we use to design like the layout of each issue. And so she'll kind of help clean things up a little bit. And she just really enjoys the layout stuff. So she'll usually have some input there as well. And then in tangent with that, recently we brought on Kailyn, and she is our lead artist, and that's been a really, really, really fun addition. She does a lot of more sketch work. I think oil painting is kind of her thing, but for us being a black and white paper, she's really been leaning into the sketch work. And oh my goodness, love, love, love her work so much. She is our feature artist for the upcoming February issue, so you can see her work in print there. She's working on some fun other paper goods we have in the works. So
Mm-hmm.
don't want to
So
give away too
excited.
much, but she's also doing some sketches for our website. We really wanted our website to feel like a tangent of the newspaper, very homey, even though it's on a screen. And so we're bringing in a lot of just hand-drawn elements, and it's going to be really special. So Kaylyn's doing a lot of work there. She just had a baby like 2 weeks ago. So she's an angel for doing anything right now. Um, so that's Kaylyn. And we have Emily. And she is our recipe developer. She's a chef and has her own little business she runs, Nourished Abode. She kind of approached us and said like, "Hey, I can like consistently do your recipe development." So January is her first issue that she will appear in with her recipes. So yummy. I'm like really looking forward to making the January ones.
Yeah.
And yeah, so that's Emily. And so then we have Alexandra, and she's our illustrator for the Companion Chronicles. And I'm just excited to see just a little picture with that. So that's also,
Hmm.
I mean, this is definitely an announcement to that. That will be in our February issue. She just came on. We are very, very excited to have that little added piece in there. And we have Kristen as our puzzle maker. If you've been receiving our issues for a little while, you've probably noticed errors within our puzzles. I apologize. That is on me. I took on more than I could handle. Like I said, filling in gaps, and that was a gap I should not have been filling. So she came on as our puzzle maker. So she's focusing on our crosswords and word searches. And her first one is the January issue. So hopefully it will be a really enjoyable experience for you without error. So thank you,
And
Kristen.
yes, and it's just fun. Like they're all doing like just one thing, but like they're doing that thing really, really well
Yeah,
to contribute to a larger, really, really good product.
right. And that is why our team is 18 people
Hmm.
because everyone's just doing their part. A lot of us have separate jobs or we have kids or we just have like we aren't like full dedicated 8 to 5. That's not our setup. And so to have each individual come in and be the best at what they do, it just makes that's what makes it happen. Because yeah, I
Hmm.
if I were doing it all, as you can see, there would be errors. So
We had so many people reaching out to us.
oh, the
My,
November one just
yeah.
I do not even know how that happened. There were like clues from the month before. I truly am baffled as to how that happened.
You get to
So,
just make up your own words that you want to put in there,
make
guys.
it
See
up.
what fits. Yeah.
I do think if you're listening to this and you're like, I saw that and I never figured it out, I did in our Instagram. I think I have a highlight. This is November crossword where you can view what it should be. So, reference that if need be.
Yeah.
I think our final one then is Rylee, who is our most recent addition, and she's going to be our comic artist.
Love it.
So stoked. I think I name dropped her in the last episode. Yeah, her and her husband kind of developed this little world. I don't want to give away what it is because I want you to see it in paper first.
Hmm.
It'll also appear in our February issue. That's the team. I know that was like a
Hmm.
lot of names, a lot of roles, but each and every one is vital and is the reason the paper is at the tier it's at. So, yeah, I don't know. We just love all of them. If you're listening,
Yep.
team, we love you.
Yeah. Yep. And it's been fun to get to know people. Hopefully, someday we will all be in person together because we
Hmm.
currently all work
We're all over
all over, not
the
just the
world.
United States, but the world. So it'll take some real planning to get us all together, but we really do hope to do that
Yeah.
because it's been so fun just getting to know them over, like we do get on calls like this with everyone. And I mean, now we're a full team and there's a lot of moving parts, which, when we had a smaller team, there maybe weren't as many like, yeah, moving parts to like try
Yeah.
to get all together. But I think with everyone being so dedicated, it's made it really
Yeah.
quite smooth.
Which I
And
did just realize I did forget one name who is actually our most recent hire, Cheyenne.
oh, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, key.
huge,
Huge.
huge.
So, Cheyenne, if you're listening, I did not forget you. She is someone I have known since we were babies, tots, grew up together. And she is back in our hometown where we print our paper, and she came on as our mailing specialist. So
And special she is. Like
special she is.
we needed. Like we said before, there's just so many things that you don't know until you're in it. And we'll get there because we're going to talk about as part of the process to paper out. The mailing is obviously
A
a
huge
very,
part.
very large step in getting that into
Who
your
cares if you
hands.
have a newspaper if it doesn't get mailed?
Yeah. Yeah, so that is huge. We'll get to that and all that she does kind of when we talk about that piece. So let's go all the way back to the beginning. When we start an issue, the concept of it and the feeling of it and the shape of it starts to take form months before we actually start writing or putting photos or layout or anything.
Mhm.
So months before we will start planning. Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, usually it will start out as, we have occasional team meetings. They're getting a little harder just because of there's so many individuals, but when we do make it happen, we kind of have everyone just throw out their ideas for upcoming issues, whether it's the next month or whether it's like, oh, next Christmas, this could be fun. So everyone just kind of throws out any ideas they have. We make note of them. And then you, myself, and Eileen will have a call, and usually we'll plan like a couple months chunk. So our last call, we planned, what did we plan? January through May. It's a
Yeah.
5 hour call.
Yeah.
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 5 hours.
That's a big one.
And I think we could have kept like, we had more stuff we could have talked about, but all of our faces were
Yeah.
like, okay, we need to stop thinking about this for a little bit.
Yeah.
But it was so productive. So many good ideas. I mean, we, like a core part of the Lottura post is intentionality. And that is absolutely the key thing when we are putting together an issue is, does this feel intentionally added in? Does this make sense with the season, with the other content that we are planning on having? And I mean, that includes pitching ideas within our own team capabilities, like, oh, maybe we could have Olivia write this article or Eileen do this one or such and such. But then it's also, we like to bring on guests and we like to bring on more voices to add more layers. And we've had some wonderful guest writers in only our first couple issues. And we have, hopefully, we have more lined up, and we go through, yeah, who could we reach out to see if they want to be a part of this, just different ideas, backups, all of that. So, I mean, it's just like a very time consuming process because, frankly, between all of us, we have way more ideas than we have space for. So, just really paring it down.
Mhm. Yep. And then kind of the next step would be you put it all into our organizer, I
Yeah,
call it.
project organizer. Yeah, I
Hmm.
will kind of, I'll have like my written lists of everything we went through, and I'll just like really dial it in. And at this point, I pretty quickly kind of learned how many pieces we need to fill our pages. And I'm a measure with your heart kind of a gal when it comes to cooking. And I feel like that's also how it's come to the issues. I'm like, that seems right.
Yeah.
And it has not failed me yet. So, um, I will, or yeah, organize that all and assign it to the team, set a deadline, and then, yeah, and then it goes into the team's hands to kind of start chipping away at what their assignments are.
Hmm. And so we'll be then kind of the next 2-ish, 3-ish weeks working on all those things that we have set out. And around the same time, we're also proofreading
Hmm.
and kind of like the one that is about to go to
Hmm.
press next is also getting finished and whatever.
Hmm.
So there's always multiple layers and multiple
Yeah.
things happening at once.
And to add, so this month is unique for our team as far as just like tasks, because we have at this point been operating where we wrap up an issue and it goes to print that week. Like we are working like just the month ahead. And just for planning ahead and just like giving us a little buffer in case anything arises. We are going to be working ahead. I think our goal is like 3 issues ahead. So January and February, which tend to be the slower months of the year, our deadlines are like every 2 weeks, I think. Um, and we are gonna get worked ahead. So right now we're working on March, April, and May
Hmm.
issues. So yeah.
Yep, because we did all of that planning, you know, a couple months back, and then we had that all in our organizer online, so everyone knew for the next 4 months really what their tasks were. So then we can all be working on them. And then the next thing is once you have the layout, well, you work on the layout, you put it all on the paper, you do that in InDesign, then it goes to who?
Yeah, well, I mean, other kind of key points in putting together an issue is not just the team's content, but there's a lot of communication that
Yeah.
happens with our guests who come on, whether it's like our really dedicated guest articles or our community submissions, or we've been starting to look to outside photographers a little bit more just to like pull in some more layers and to provide just like a printed space for them to share their work. So there's just like there is so much emailing that goes on behind the scenes.
Hmm.
Um, and then yeah, I while everyone's working on their content, I'm working on bringing together community submissions that seem to suit that issue, photographs, and I get that all prepped so that once everyone submits their written work, then I can really fill in the issue on InDesign. So yeah, usually I kind of chip away on that. Claire and Eileen will give me their comments on layout, kind of adjusting some things, and then we send it off to proofreaders.
And they kind of go at it.
Yeah, we usually go through a couple rounds. It is really, really crazy, even with how detail oriented people are. I mean, there's just so much content that things just get missed. Or like I'll fix something, but then a line got cut off while I was fixing it and I didn't notice. So we go through what, 5 rounds, 5 or 6 rounds probably of proofreading. It takes a week or two,
Hmm.
just depending on people's availability. But yeah, proofreading,
Hmm.
the big one.
And then you send it to our printer
Hmm.
and walk us through, because you were in his shop last weekish.
Yeah.
So walk us through some things that you learned, some things that might be interesting to listeners and readers.
Yeah, I got to be in person for January printing, which was fun. And I've been in the shop a couple other times, not necessarily for a printing of an issue, but I've kind of learned a few things. I mean, to start, it is an absolute art, the art of printing on a press. Because if you have not heard us say yet, this is not digitally printed. This is on a printing press, a big old honkin' multi-ton printing
Yeah,
press.
huge. It is
Huge.
huge.
And just he was really talking me through his learning process of learning how to use it, and it's truly an art. He said that when he started, he had like sticky notes all over of like how to run it and do things, and as he learned, he like slowly peeled the sticky notes off.
I love
Because
that.
it's like it's running a machine. Like he's oiling things, he has to keep the ink full, he has to, I mean, it's when I say moving parts, I mean that's literal
Yeah.
and figurative. Like there's just so much going on watching it. And so though the paper is in black and white, there's like the roller that has the ink on it, and there's dials along it. I want to say there were like 20 something little dials, and he has to literally dial in the ink so that the pictures don't look black or indistinguishable. Like it is truly an art. So, I mean, the first thing our printer does is he'll get the file and they plate it. So they have these metal plates that they impress the paper, the content onto. And I'll have to I know I put some of these videos, I think, on our Instagram before we logged off. So I think you can see like a picture of the plate if you go look at our Instagram behind the scenes. There's like a, I think I have a highlight with behind the scenes. But yeah, it's like a metal plate. And I think I got a video of him putting the plate on that you can reference, but then he puts the plate onto the machine. He has to install it. And yeah, I mean, I don't even know all the moving parts. I feel like I'm kind of out of my depth talking about it. But it
Okay.
is, it's, and I just am saying that because it is so complex
Hmm.
and it's not something you can just easily pick up. And it's amazing. It was really, really, really fun to watch. So yeah, he runs the press and he'll have to do that for each spread. So front and back, run it through. So yeah, after he ran them all through, they're in a big old stack and the ink is still wet. Like I couldn't just pick one up and touch it because the ink's wet.
Side note about the ink. I don't know if this is true for everyone that gets it because you might just be receiving one, but we'll get them in packs of 20 or whatever. And the smell of the ink when you open up the package is
Oh,
like, oh, it's so good.
so good.
So if you only get one and you don't really smell it, just try, just sniff it because it's so good. It's like an old library or like a new book. I don't know, but I love getting the papers. So,
Yeah, very, very. Oh, it's so good. It's so satisfying. So yeah, they run it through the machine. They then after the machine, they have to trim them. They trim all the edges and then they fold them. They have a folding machine and then they stick labels on them.
and they have to dry for like a day, right? Like they can't
Yeah,
fold them right
so
away.
he was telling me that you could fold them right away, but to make them really top tier, like he, after printing, let them sit there overnight and then the next day went in and folded them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No
it's
smudged
not,
ink here.
no, it is not a quick, not a quick process. Oh,
Hmm.
I don't know if I told you this, but a friend of mine, I had given her a paper and then she sent me a picture and one of her spreads was blank. The press had like missed one.
That's crazy.
I was like,
Ah,
oh. So
that's
if
funny. I mean,
anyone,
yeah.
yeah, and our printer said I brought it up to him just because I thought it was funny.
Hmm.
And he's like, yeah, sometimes that does happen. And but if it's like on the inside when it's folded,
You don't see
you
it.
don't see it. And so if anyone does get a paper that's missing, please contact us. We will
Yeah.
send you a new one.
That's funny though, because, as we've discovered with all of this, is like we are all humans putting in time and effort on this, and mistakes do happen. And all you can do is,
Laugh about
well,
it.
yeah, like it happens. And I think that makes it more we
Endearing.
endearing, and we will replace it for you. We will send you a
Yes.
new one.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's all
Yeah.
just part of the
It
process.
is. It's fun. I mean, it's a very, I think because of such a digital age we're in, there's just expectations of perfection.
Hmm.
And when you get to things made by hand, that is just not the case.
Yep.
And this is largely, yeah, I don't know. We're doing the best we can, and that's why we have a large team. But there are just so many moving pieces that errors do happen, whether it's a crossword or it's a whole page not getting printed. So, yeah, it is. I don't know. I've just really tried to find a little laugh in those things and be like, oh, we'll fix it. It's not a big deal.
Mhm.
Most anything is fixable. So,
Yep. Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
Yeah, but then so they're folded, the labels are put on, and they are sent out. I actually don't know this. Maybe you have more insight, but they are sent from the post office right down the street from
Hmm.
they put the labels on at the print place
Hmm.
and then just go drop them off.
Yeah, they're prepaid. They're all paid for
Mm,
at the printing place.
okay.
They drop them all off, and because it's in a small town, it has to like it's so funny. So like the people who live in that town, the papers have to get sent to Omaha and then sorted, and then they get sent back to
Mm-hmm.
town.
Yeah, crazy.
So because we're printing out of a small town, it probably adds a day to a normal printing or a normal like mailing delivery window. But yeah, it's just part of it.
Yeah.
So
And not like a small town in like California where you still have huge hubs, but we are a small town, middle of the country,
yeah.
Midwest. It's just we operate a little bit
And when
slower
we say
here,
small town, it's a town of 1,000.
but
Yeah,
it's great. It's
it's
just
great.
it does take a little bit longer and again, part of the process, but we can get back to Cheyenne and kind of some of the things that she does and
Hmm.
helps us with because we added an option for our readers to purchase archives and to place orders a little bit more regularly.
Hmm.
So she helps us
Yeah.
because that's just it's an added cost that does go beyond what we were doing when we first started.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah, I think I mean, there's probably just a lot of questions people have around the whole mailing process. Watch the rest of this episode just be about mailing.
yeah, there's a lot to talk
But
about.
I mean, I mean, that's like the bulk of emails I answer are over mailing questions and issues. And it's because we're doing a mail publication. So that's just what it's going to be. And that's fine. But that's where we were like, okay, hiring somebody who lives right there. She
Hmm.
can just be a little bit more on top of it and making sure things aren't slipping through the cracks because unfortunately a couple times some things slipped through the cracks because none of us lived there.
Hmm.
And also, I will just so people know, like this is new for us. This is also new for our printer. He's never done anything quite like this before. And so it's true, we're just all learning as we go. And like we are all, I mean, our goal is excellence, all of us
Hmm.
involved. And so we are working really hard to get there and taking necessary measures like hiring Cheyenne, and we'll get there. Like we want to give you guys the best experience possible. And
Hmm.
yeah, so I mean, that's truly our goal. So
Yeah.
yeah,
And with the mailing, the USPS, as long as it has been running, they haven't done maybe like a ton of updates throughout time. Like a lot of
no.
their systems rely on kind of what has always been done. And a lot of it is costly, like really,
Mhm.
really, really costly, which I get. You're handling a lot of paper, a lot of weight, a lot of travel and all of that. It's very costly to send something. And it's costly for a lot of different people in the process because
Yeah,
someone has to pay to even get the labels made, get them put on. And like with periodicals, there are ways that the USPS has tried to make that easy, but it's costly.
yeah,
So we're always trying to like, okay, when can we make that leap of paying for that thing so that it is a little bit more streamlined, but
yeah.
costly?
Yeah, and to make that more clear, it's like if we wanted cheaper postage, we would have to pay a fee, a
Yes.
very large fee to put that,
Hmm.
what you were saying, to put that plainly. And so, yeah, we're just trying to gauge, yeah, where are we with all
Hmm.
that? And there's just so many moving pieces. And I think that things like Amazon have really wrecked people's perception of mailing services.
Yep.
And I think just because of how online shopping has moved, packages typically, I think, move more efficiently than paper does. It's kind of what I have found.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
And
also, newspapers are just its own category. Like, if you are sending a letter in the mail, it will probably show up in a couple days. Like, even our printer was like, I have no idea what the post office does once we drop off those papers. And he's been mailing newspapers for years. And he's like, yeah, sometimes someone will get it in a week. And then sometimes it'll take 4 weeks. And then they'll get that month's issue and the next month's issue at the same time. So it's just, there is just some weird inconsistencies. Newspapers just mail differently than anything else. And that's
yep.
just been something like it's really, really hard to communicate to people. Is it's like once we drop it off at the post office, we have no control. We
And
cannot
we can't
track.
track
We
it.
can't
Yeah.
track it. There's no tracking numbers. The best we can do is like, okay, some people in this city I saw had their paper. you're a little farther than that. I mean, because we're mailing out of the Midwest, like we're mailing out of Nebraska. So usually we'll see like Iowa, Kansas, Colorado get their papers first. The
Mm-hmm.
coasts usually take closer to 2 weeks.
Yep.
So that is just, I mean, you can't pay for faster postage. Like packages, you're like, oh, well, you can just pay more and get it there faster. That's not how this works.
Yep. And as we were talking to the post office about like, okay, if we pay for this more efficient thing, there's also like a huge list of guidelines that you have to comply
Yeah, they
by
like
then as
audit you
well.
regularly.
And so not only is there like a monetary cost, there's a time person cost to tracking all of these things and
Yeah.
communicating with them that frankly, when we looked at it, we were both like, that's
Whoa.
overwhelming. Um, so yeah, we hope this does give you a little peek into like things that you would not have known probably because we had no idea.
Yeah.
And we've had to learn and find people who do know, but those are getting less and less.
Yep.
So it's just a hard, tricky,
Yeah, because
weird
I mean,
thing.
like I've gone into post offices and asked like questions, and they're like, I don't know. Like the people working at the post office don't even know because people, again, don't really mail newspapers. And
Mhm.
so you just have to make effort to find the right person. And they're out there and they're super knowledgeable. But the one guy I found who I talked to, super helpful. He was so hard to get a hold of. So
Yeah.
it is, um, yeah, I mean, yeah, it's a lot. We ultimately just want people to know, like, we know you want your newspaper. And in an ideal world, we would have it to you by the first of that month. That would
We
be,
would love that
that would be
ourselves.
great.
Yeah.
And if you're sitting around waiting for your January issue, we also are. We
Hmm.
also don't have our paper. And we have no idea when it's going to show up. Is it going to be today? Is it going to be tomorrow? I don't know.
Yep. We text each other all the time. We're like, did you get yours? Did you get yours?
Yeah.
Like, nope. Well,
Yeah.
guess we're always hoping for tomorrow.
Yeah.
And it's part of the process, it's part of the fun. It also adds some friction and some frustration sometimes,
Hmm.
especially around the holidays.
Yeah. The December issue was oh, that one was really hard.
Even November, we had just some weird
Yeah.
things
Yeah.
happen, but it
Yeah.
is what
And
it
even just
is.
like as far as our like schedule routine, how we usually go, all of that got disrupted November, December because of Thanksgiving and Christmas. So what our typical goal is that we print the second to last Wednesday of the month. As we just explained the printing process, they don't print and have them in the mail on the same day. You have to let the ink dry, you have to fold them, you have to label them, all the things. So we hope that the paper is then in the mail by Friday, Monday at the latest.
Which
So that is before the end of the month. So if you're in the surrounding areas, you may have them roughly around the first week of the month. It might take a little longer otherwise, but around the holidays, Christmas was the week we normally print. So we printed January 31st.
Mhm.
So everything just got moved back. So that is
Yep.
why if you're waiting for your January issue, it was because of Christmas
And New Year.
and New
The new
Year.
year in there kind of threw some things off. And it's funny looking back, like when we first started, we were even like, oh, why didn't the papers get sent the same day that got printed? Like we didn't
Yeah, we didn't even know.
have the full understanding because it is such a it's one of those things where you have to like be around it to really understand it.
Yeah.
And you got to be around it, and that was a lot of questions answered for us
Yeah.
because we
Just set
didn't.
a lot of expectations properly. And I just feel like I can more clearly answer questions that people have about timeline and such. I can answer them at least a little bit better. I mean, there's a lot of times where I know like a few people inquired about their December issues that they hadn't had them. And so I sent another in the mail and now they have two of them. So I do know that our printer did say that in his experience, a paper may take a long time to get there, but it always gets there. So if you're concerned about your paper not being there, please feel free to reach out because I mean, there's human error. Maybe something got missed, maybe it really did get lost. But also, yeah, I mean, we'll send you a new one and you might end up with two. We would rather that and you be happy
Oh yeah, 100%.
for sure.
It's getting easier with Cheyenne for us to
Yes.
slip another one in the mail.
Yes. Yeah. So that's like the process around when we have a new issue come out. So then when it comes to our archival issues, so we have all of our issues available to purchase except I think October is out of stock that you can go back and purchase. And with Cheyenne, there is usually a batch of papers going out at least once a week.
Yep.
And I will also add, since we're talking about so much mailing postage stuff, so we charge $1 extra for archival issues. The reason we charge $1 extra is because our postage is higher. Because when we send out our like the big bulk mailing along with the new issue, that's when we're sending out the most papers. When you hit 200 papers, we can get lower postage, like significantly lower, way, way lower. And so anything that is ordered outside of that, so if you're just like ordering on a Tuesday, the September issue, just, something random,
Hmm.
it's gonna it costs us about $1 more to send it. So that's why we charge more.
Yep. Yeah, and we hope that clears things up. Also, when we have double issues, like the December issue, double in pages, I mean, that costs us a little bit more to mail those just because it's all based on weight. So, yeah, if you see differences in pricing, it's usually because of mailing and,
Hmm.
well, not fully, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Because we also then had to print more pages.
Yeah. Yeah.
All the things. So, there's reasons why you see
Yeah.
varying
I mean, like
prices,
we
but
are like so genuinely trying to keep prices very, very affordable,
as low as we can,
as
really.
low as we can. If you have been here since the beginning, we started with our prices lower and we would have loved to keep them there. But again, as we started getting into it and understanding what postage rates were, like we were losing money
Hmm.
at that price. So that is why we upped our prices. And we didn't even up them by that much. We truly just want to keep things very affordable for people, a really, really easy way for people to get off of screens.
Hmm.
And again, like your article in November, what is the cost? Everything has a cost. You can't just do things for free because there are hundreds of hours and money that we're having to spend. And so there has to be, I mean, you just have to have money involved. But we're just doing the best we can. And I think a lot of this we're going to get into in our next episode, which is going to be definitely a pretty, one of our more transparent, like juicy, I guess to
Yeah.
say, episodes.
Hmm. Yeah. And to go back to the pricing, I want to talk about this a little bit because you could buy a year for $50, or
Mhm.
you can buy a single issue for six on our current setup, with our larger issues being
12.
12. So if you buy the year for $50, you get the special issue within that, plus you get, because we have two special issues and then 10 regular papers. So 12 issues in a year for $50.
Yeah.
We really, really wanted that to be an accessible entry point. But if you paid $6 for 10 months, that's 60. So that's already 10 more plus the 24. So
Oh, you're
$34.
right. You're so right.
You're saving a lot of money.
Yeah. And we personally are sick and tired of monthly subscriptions.
Yeah.
Just like constantly seeing something come out of your bank because everything is subscription based. And so we really wanted to keep it as simple as possible for people. And that's why we just have you pay for the year. And then you don't have to think about it again for a year.
Mm-hmm.
And we are setting up, I don't want to give it away, but we're setting
I
up a
know.
way to help remind
Remind.
you when your year's ending so that you don't forget. Because if you, I mean, because that is one thing about seeing it monthly is like, it's there. And you have, after a whole year, you may forget which month you subscribed. That's fine. We don't want you to miss a month. And so we are setting up a way to help remind you. So
A fun way.
a fun way,
Pretty way.
pretty way. That is why we set it up as if you want to try it out, you can buy a single issue. But to keep your life simple, for the most part, we really do focus just on like purchasing the year's subscription.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And we truly do hope that throughout the year you will find something that you relate to, love, learn something new within that year. I really think there's something for everyone and that you would just find a lot of joy in getting it in your mailbox every year
Yeah.
or every month.
Yeah. And again, I mean, like as we were just talking about, there's like such a waiting process of waiting for a paper as we are currently waiting for a January. I mean, I did see it fresh off the press, not folded and all together though. So I'm just like, ooh, itching to get my hands on it. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, I think all that to say, we just really, really, really want to challenge our readers and those who have made a purchase for an issue to really, yes, the ultimate experience is in the newspaper itself and soaking it in, enjoying it, holding it. For sure, without a doubt, that is the ultimate experience. I guess like our whole mission behind the post is just living with intentionality within, keeping your eyes out on the world and not on a screen. And that is not, that goes beyond just the newspaper. And so we really want our readers to step into what our mission is and even in the waiting. So, like, what's a way you can really, really joyfully wait for something you're anticipating today? Maybe you make it more of an event to go down to your mailbox. Maybe you like make a latte. I mean, like for me, my driveway is like half a mile long, so it's like a whole event to go up there. But I mean, so no matter what, make a latte, walk out to your mailbox. It's not there. Okay, let me just sit and watch the cars or watch the birds for a while. Like just find some joy and anticipation in it instead of just like, oh, I didn't get it today. Why not? And just falling into like a negative headspace around it. Because again, we can't control everything. You can't control everything. We can't. The postal office has 5 million bajillion things they have in the mail. They're not worried about a single newspaper. So instead of just dwelling on the negative side of the situation, just really trying to take what our mission is and apply that to the whole experience.
for sure. I was thinking about that the other day, actually, because I also make a latte to go out to my mailbox. It's not a half mile away, but I gotta, walk through the
Yeah,
grass.
absolutely.
And I was like, oh, this spring I really want to make a path because we don't have anything, which I think is kind of odd, but like a path with flowers and just make it so cute so that every day when I get to go out to my mailbox, it's fun
It's
and
so fun.
enjoyable. But
Yeah.
yeah. Um, anyway, so as you wait for your issue, you can listen to this, listen to our other episodes. We said it before, but this stuff that we want to convey through the podcast is stuff that we wouldn't necessarily write in the paper. But we do want to convey it. We want to be able to talk about it and give people insight into what we're doing. And so, again, if you have questions, if you have comments, whatever, if you
We
just
got
want
a
to
couple
share.
comments on our last episode.
Yeah, I saw one of them was from your husband.
I know.
It was so cute. He was like, "Oh, what did you say? Something about my beautiful wife." Like, it was very cute. But
Yeah.
yeah, so leave us a comment and we will try to answer questions as we get them. And we'll keep putting these out. And if you guys have anything you want to learn more about, let one of us know. And
Yeah, I think too, beyond just questions, if there's like a whole topic that you would be interested to hear about, that would also be really, really helpful just in planning ahead because we have planned the next two episodes, but then beyond that, we haven't really done that. So if you have like a whole topic, whether it could be a whole episode or just like partially an episode, comment it or email us because yeah, we truly just like people are just so invested in what we're doing, which is such a gift to us. And we really want to help people feel like they're a part of something bigger. So,
mhm, yeah,
yeah.
definitely. So again, show notes will tell you how you can find us, get in contact with us, order an issue, all the things. So
Yeah. Okay.
yeah.
Bye, everyone.
See you next time.